Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good people. This is Justin Gates here with the Business Builder Podcast, aka Brother Juice. And today, joining me in the studio this morning is a brilliant young man, Benicio Jennings, aka Casanova on Instagram, CAZ.A.Nova, a clothing designer. You have a brand,
Yes,
right?
sir.
How old are you?
20.
20. Man, so he's a young man going after it, getting it. And what's impressive so far, to me anyway, is that we were just talking about the, what was it? The
Rolling Loud.
Rolling Loud.
But Miami by season.
Yeah, so you were in Miami at the Rolling Loud hip hop. Is that a tour or is it just one-off? You were telling me they're all over the place now, but do they tour around or is it just like they go to Miami or then they just hit other big cities, or how does that work with them?
Yeah, so they'll so right now, this is a new year, they're going to Cali. After Cali, they'll maybe go to a outside country.
So it's like a big hip hop festival and they just take it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Place by place.
So, and you were there, what, last year?
Yes, sir. In
And
December.
you took, you were selling your stuff, right?
Yes, sir.
So that's amazing, man. How did you get on with them? Like, what was the process of you connecting with those people and saying, hey, man, I'm a designer. I want to come and.
So one is the connect and researching. And with that being said, like back in 2019, I was a fan and never would have thought like I would make it there. And but always in my head, I was connecting with them, watching their live stream, every concert, and every concert when Travis or Lil Baby was there and stuff like that. I'm gonna be honest, and that really grew. That really grew and connected with me to the point where I wanted to go and experience, because they were having a whole lot of stuff. Like you'll see different artists they'll bring out special guests and stuff.
Well, yeah, but that's to be expected. But how did you, as a 20 or so like last year you would have been 19, as a 19-year-old kid, how did you go from being a fan to being somebody who's now you're there selling your brands and your design?
So I ended up designing something, and from there it was the 10th anniversary, and from there I wanted to move off of that, because that was my first year designing as well, and I wanted to create a piece that would be memorable, something for them and for me. And then I got an opportunity, but it was really a risk, but I took that and I went off of it. And somebody from Seven Birds, the brand owner himself, he told me, it was a piece I showed him. He was like, man, you could have went to the concert or not the concert, you could have stayed and stood out there selling your merch and stuff like that. And from there sparked the idea of doing that. And that's where I created that's when I created this piece right here. And
there you go.
I created all this, and that's when I moved off of it. And I've just been speaking it to life since.
Now, is that what you went there with?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did you sell out?
I didn't, but I ended up speaking with the manager from Rolling Loud, and
how did that go?
It was a crazy experience, because one, I'm up and coming, and then this is my second drop for them. Well, for me and them, and I held my composure and was just giving information back as well. And with that being said, it was a good experience. I learned a lot too.
Did they say, yeah, we want you to do something for us next year?
Yes and no.
Okay.
No, because it was one of those where I have to come out again.
Right.
And then no was my choosing, basically. So it was a yes or a no.
So they were like,
do I want to make something for them because the quality was better?
Right.
And then I said, I went with it, but my idea is no.
Okay. So, but that would have been a collaboration, though. You could have done something with it. Well, why didn't you want to do it?
One, I'm going off track of my brand ideas.
Okay. So, all right. Well, let's talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, let's get in. I got questions, man. I got questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is an interview. We're doing questions. Okay. What is? So first of all, that was how you kind of got started in this, and you said, oh, this brand, the head of the brand spoke to you and said, hey man, you could be doing this, and then that gave you the idea to go, yeah, I can be doing that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is great because you was like, oh. Before then it just hadn't crossed your mind. Fact. So now that it has, and now you've done it, right? This isn't like, you have done something, you've created. And then design, also, and you put it on the merch, and you went to the venue, and then sold the merch, and then made some relationships with some people. So it's not like you're not a total beginner here, right? Mm-hmm. You have something that you have accomplished, which is that's a lot, man. Because again, for you at your age, it could be scary, and it is risky because if you get shot down, that might shatter your confidence, and then you're like, man, whatever, I'm out of the game. I'm never doing this again.
Facts.
But it didn't. True. Right, because you have it in your head. So, and we spoke a little bit before. What prompted you to be a designer? Like, what was the inspiration for you to be a designer? And how long have you had this? Because I remember you telling me you knew this when you were a kid.
I'm glad that you asked that question. So, my mom, she did art when she was in college, and when I was growing up, I was surrounded by art. So abstract, like you name it, and then my pops, he was more of a get dressed, get fly, and when I got into my own shaping my identity, middle school, we had college week. Mm-hmm. I saw Ohio State. They had a clothing company, not a clothing company, a clothing major, and went with that. Had the idea since 6th grade. From there, I was trying to inform myself with any information as possible because I wanted to be ahead and I wanted to know, like, what am I getting myself into for my future? And with that being said, Virgil Abloh was somebody that I inspired. Well, he inspired me. Yeah, he inspired me, and from there, I've been going to his work and just
for inspiration.
Fact.
So Virgil Abloh, I'm not familiar with him. So for those of us who don't know, right, mm-hmm. who is Virgil Abloh, and then what was it about his stuff that spoke to you?
So Virgil Abloh, he worked on a lot of stuff when he was here. He did Pyrex Vision, his first company, but not owned. The company that we all know today is Off-White.
Okay.
His most memorable thing from Off-White was the 10. The 10 pack, the 10 most iconic sneakers from Nike.
Okay.
And but what stood out to me was his designs and his work, and that's what stood out. And the information he was giving to the people that backed his work up. Mm-hmm. And with that being said, like that stood out to me because it gave me the blueprint of how to tackle that career.
Right.
With being only in middle school. So just imagine the blueprint already set for you. You just gotta follow and get your creative aspect and just think, like, what do you want to do within that industry?
Yeah, because you do need somebody that was kind of a trailblazer that you're like, oh, I know how to do it. Mm-hmm. Right now, this is what I want to do. I don't know how to do it. And then you see Virgil and his story, and you're like, okay, that's how you do this. That's how you tackle this. Now, was he mainly a sneaker designer, or did he do other stuff as well?
He did other stuff. So he was He was architecture. He did he did architecture. He did stuff with skateboards. He did graffiti.
Okay, so I mean, so he wasn't just only a clothing designer. He ventured into all these other different disciplines.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So, all right, let's get into this now. What is the wildest or most unexpected inspiration behind one of your designs?
The wildest?
Mm-hmm. Or most unexpected?
I can say wildest. It was a design I was going to put out. The first design, instead of the Mona Lisa, it would have said, I may get a little backlash from it, but the meaning, I just have to know the meaning. It was, females are temporarily and males are temporarily. Mm-hmm. And to me, that meant that people are in your life for a period of time. It ties back to season to me.
And that's, okay, yeah, I'm sorry, I skipped over that. Your brand, Season.
Yes, sir.
SZN, right? So check that out on Instagram, right? So Casanova and Season. And you know, check the receipts. He was there. He was at the show.
Facts.
It was on.
Facts. It was beautiful for real.
So, okay. Why didn't you put that out, man?
One, the lack of tools I had for that, and two, just it was a work in college that I was trying to get my mind and stuff off of things, because that particular area that I was working on, I was venturing on to a lot of stuff, really, and with that short amount of time, I was trying to push that.
Right. And you decided not to at the end.
Facts.
So, have you heard the phrase, some people are in your life for a season and some people are in your life for life? And the difficulty comes when somebody that should be there for a season, you try to keep them there for life. It's super important to surround yourself with people who want to see you succeed, right? And who are going to help you and push you and then give you correction and some tough love if you need it, right?
Yes, sir.
So nobody wants to, or it doesn't benefit you to be obviously surrounded by a bunch of haters or people who, don't celebrate your victories. And I'm sure you've heard, don't stay where you're hated, go where you're celebrated.
Yes,
right?
sir. Like, it be times where I do be feeling like, dang, like, I ain't, but that push and motivate me more to do what I inspire, because I'm like, if I quit now, I'm letting everybody down.
You can't quit. You just got started.
I can't.
You can't. I mean, and I think, unless I'm mistaken, I think you're the kind of dude that you already kind of have this vision of what you know what it wants to look like at the end, right?
Yes.
And so now it's just getting there, right? I mean, a journey of 1,000 steps or 10,000 steps starts with the first step. So
I like that.
Right.
I like that.
Well, that wasn't me. That's a Chinese proverb.
I like that. That was good.
If you had to describe your brand in 3 words, what would they be? Yeah, you got to narrow it down now. Elevator pitch.
Bold, creative, and adventurous.
What's the one trend in fashion that you absolutely refuse to follow?
Oh my! All right, the one trend. Okay. It was a time where this was back in my middle school year, and it was when everybody was wearing bulky stuff for a year. That I couldn't get on that.
The bulky stuff?
Yeah.
What do you mean bulky?
Like
big oversized hoodies and stuff and big baggy pants, or what are you talking about?
Like, it was just for like sneakers, they were bulky, and like me myself, I just couldn't get onto it, and I was like, no, but don't get me wrong, it was people that I saw that was that had the perfect fit with them, but myself, I couldn't drag them.
You talking about the ones with the big thick soles on them?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I never got into that either. The only time that I thought that was acceptable was if you were a cute Japanese girl, right? Dressing up in an anime or like cosplay or something. Because otherwise, I was like, why do they have these huge soles on them? What was your first pair of shoes that you really, really liked? Like the first pair of shoes that you were like, I want these shoes.
I'm glad that you asked that question. I'm really glad. Kyrie's. Reason why? It was, I admired his style of play. And my style of play, I wanted to inherit his. With that being said, Kyrie won Australia's.
Okay.
I still have them to this day.
Yes, I'm not familiar with those because again, I'm 52 and I don't. Is that you're talking about a basketball player, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Kyrie Irving.
I was a skateboarder when I was in high school and middle school, right? And so the first ones that I got before, like, and this is you're talking about late 80s, right? Mid to late 80s when I started skateboarding, and then obviously the 90s, but. Just old school Converse, man. Converse Chucks, right? And that's what I wanted. That's what all of us were wearing. This is before This is before Airwalks became a thing. It was before any skate shoe became a thing.
Before, right? Before Nike SBs and all them.
Oh, I'm quite sure, man. Because you're talking about 86, 87, right? That's when I was skateboarding. This is before Air Jordans. Right before the first Jordans came out, right? That's how old I am. I was around before the first Jordans came out, right? And so when them first Jordans came out, they were, were they red and blue? No, they were. I can't remember if they were red and black or they were UNC white and blue, right?
No, they were red and white. Red.
But they were. I think they were red and black. And then the second drop was the UNC white and blue, and people went nuts over that one because he played at UNC, right? And I didn't know this. I didn't know this until this morning. I mean, I think I knew, but like, we're right down the street from Laney High School. That's where Michael Jordan went to school.
Fact.
I didn't know that. I just rolled up there today to drop my son off, and it says, Michael Jordan Center, for the gymnasium, and I was like, was I talking about Michael Jordan? I was like, I know he went to high school here in North Carolina. I looked it up. I Googled it, right?
And middle school.
He went to Laney High School, which is right down the street. Which I was just like, I told my son, I was like, dude, you might go to the same high school Michael Jordan went to. He was like, that's pretty cool, Dad. I was like, yeah, it is. I'm like, why didn't I know that? I've been here for 10 years. Anyway, don't hate on me, people.
And then too, for the people that don't know, he went to middle school here too, DC Virgo. He was on the basketball team as well.
That might be the school that I didn't know. All right, what's the biggest misconception people have about being a fashion designer? Because you're in it, man. I mean, this is your career. This is your...
The misconception, I can say the image and their voice. Like, they can put something out, and the person that they have style it can turn the image a different way. But they're trying to portray a certain type of image, but like I said, the person that they have styling changes it. And to me, I try to, with every look, I try to get an inspiration on, all right, for instance, if I'm doing dresses, I would want people that wear dresses that I see normally wear dresses, or that I see look fly in them. And with that being said, like, you'll have I'm gonna go with Balenciaga. You'll have Balenciaga release a piece, but get Playboy Cardi to wear it, and their narrative switches. It switches, but they're trying to bring out let's say a warmth welcome for that, but it gets changed by the person that they get the style.
Do you think the person changes the intention of what the design is? That's interesting, man. I haven't thought about it that way. Why do you say that?
Because now, like, the reason why is I see it a lot, and then I see it a lot within, like, the community as well. And with that being said, it's like that inspired me to, all right, try and get try and get the people, the perfect people, and match my brand identity as well.
Okay, I think I understand that. You watch anime, man? You ever watch anime? You don't have to say yes if you don't.
What's crazy? Yes, right. I do, but it's Pokemon.
Right.
It's Pokemon.
I think even in Pokemon there are characters that wear those Japanese sandals, right? That look like two boards on the feet, where they have those two big thick chunks of wood, right? Mm-hmm. And do you know what that's for? That actually serves a purpose. It's not just a fashion statement. It actually served a purpose because not everybody wears those kinds of sandals. That was for people in certain areas where the road was really muddy, and so you wanted your feet to be up off the road, so your feet and then your garments didn't get all muddy, and that's why they wore those.
And then two, this is funny too, because my dad ended up saying that. I ended up this was the time I ended up connecting with somebody from United Arab Emirates, Emirates or something.
UAE, yeah.
So he was like, Ben, you gotta look at the people that dresses over there. And she was like, man, you ever wonder like the people that wear the kadodras, the long
the long robe all the way down.
And he was like, they wear that all day, and you don't see no dirt stains or anything. You don't. It's clean.
What is the craziest custom request you've ever received?
Trying to change the design of my shirt that's already been designed.
Yeah, look, so people, if you're working with a designer and they've already done the thing, and then you come at the last minute and go, hey, can we change this? Like, no.
But
or you can, but you know what? I'm gonna charge you money. If I've already done the thing and you said I want this, and then you're like, oh, by the way, I want this. Now, this is why you do up front, right? Look, I want money up front, and I'm gonna agree to this before I run this thing, because after I get this thing done, right, in the design software, and especially if it's already ran, like, nah, I'm running. If I run it already, nah, that's a new design.
Facts, because and that's what I've been the process these past few years was trying to build your creative drive, and right now the goal is trying to spark that creative mindset in any setting.
What's the next big thing?
Taking things from back in the day, and when I say I'm going back in the day, I'm going back in the day, once upon a time ago type, and bringing that back, because it's one of those where it was a monumental piece back then, and then two, you market it right and modernize it, it'll sell itself.
Yeah, well, I think, Chris Rock said crack doesn't have to, you don't have to sell crack. Crack sells itself. So if you can come with a product or a design whose time has come, and you hit right with the crest of the wave, you'll be able to ride, that success wave for as long as it's going, right? But you have to have your finger on the pulse, and I think you do.
And then, there's one.
Go ahead.
And then two, how you said you grew up when fashion was trending, and not even trending, getting
it's changing.
Facts, you have a whole lot of brands literally emerging, Chrome Hearts. That reason how we got Chrome Heart was from a movie. Right. You got Dior, Chanel, Dior, and Yves Saint Laurent. Dior and Yves Saint Laurent. The two pillars. Those are two pillars that gravitated and shaped fashion, the luxury mainstream fashion, to where it's at now. I'm gonna say. Yeah. Because of the mentorship that Dior took Yves Saint Laurent under, and with that being said, he ended up shaping Dior's and making a way for himself, and Vogue too, Vogue magazine. Yeah, because that's who put Yves Saint Laurent on. Yeah.
Well, you can't. I mean, you really can't have a discussion about fashion as a whole without mentioning Vogue. I mean, they're too important to the whole genre. If you could design an outfit for any celebrity, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Dead or alive? I don't want to. Okay, this may be shifting it, but I don't want to. I want to collab with Virgil and design something for either it be for Drake or it be for, I can say, not Drake, I'll say
Drake,
or probably Travis Scott or Lil Baby. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Not surprising. Not surprising, since you admire those guys so much. Do you think AI and digital fashion will replace traditional clothing design? Because that's what,
Yes, I feel like it would.
Like, in what way? Like, how do you think it's going to change?
I feel like they gotta tweak it enough for it to be more understandable to what the designer wants. With that being said, like, for an example, if you put what your brand is about onto AI, that will remember your brand forever. And once you like you can put in, man, I want to have a fashion show at Disney World. It'll bring up your brand, what's your brand about, and shape it around how it will fit, how you can distribute that, and then it can put up a picture of, it can generate an image. And with that being said, if that's not what you want, you can ask it to go like.
Yeah, it can do several iterations.
And with that being said, it's not at a level where it's producing yet, but it takes time to get there.
So if I was going to do this, if I was going to just, like, become a designer, as it were, I'm using quotation marks here, what I would do is I would definitely use AI, right? I mean, I would have ideas in my head, but I think the bridge that AI gives you is before.
Explain the unexplainable. I'm going to say that.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. The rise of AI and the ease of which it makes, you can have AI do the dirty work, as it were, the hard work. Just tell it what, boom, and it generates something, and you're like, okay, keep this, change this, keep that, change this, right? That takes minutes instead of hours now, right? And sometimes if you're working on a big design with a lot of moving parts, it would take days, right? And this is why it's death to a designer if they spent all that time. And then you come back and go, oh, well, can you change this? It's like, oh my, because the end client does not know how much work it was to do that, right?
Facts.
AI can kind of streamline that process, right? I would definitely use it as a shortcut as far as image design, right? No, that's only just generating images so that I can go, okay, take this image, I'm going to put it on whatever. Put it on shoes, put it on a t-shirt, put it on a hoodie, put it on jeans, whatever it is, right?
Yes, sir.
A bag or what. So, but outside of that, outside of just the image design, what do you think that AI, like, how much of a game changer is it as far as being a designer? Like, are you going to use it? Like, or how would you use it?
I have used it, and with that being said, like, it was something recently I had that came up to me, stuff I want to do in my future to bring together the fashion community. And with that being said, it generated the blueprint, who I needed to contact, how I need to contact, what security I need to get.
And now he's here.
What security I need to get, what what event do I need to cater this to? So it could be like toward the public, or what month specifically. Like, you got Black History Month, Women's Heritage Month, stuff like that to make it more marketable. Yeah. So it really gives you the tools for real. Like, literally, it gave me the tools. That it explained to me how it can market and describe and depict out, all right, my customers when I'm out and about. And because being able to recognize your customers when you're out on when you out doing your everyday or like on the streets and stuff like that, like that's man, like
you're representing
facts.
You're
and
representing
then two, you're at a further step than everybody else.
Have you ever heard of Mike Jones?
No,
before your time, Mike Jones had a song. Oh, what was it? I think it was called Back Then. It's like back then they didn't want me. I think
yeah.
Right. Mike Jones. It's like my name is Mike Jones, right? So Mike Jones used to just wear a black T-shirt and it had Mike Jones on it and his phone number. And so literally you could, and he would put his phone number in. They don't do it anymore, but he put his phone number in his songs. He would like, and he would just in the verse he'd be like 555-834 or whatever it was, right? And he would tell, and people would just, you could just call up Mike Jones, right? But he did that as a form of self promotion.
Right? Was people really calling them?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, I mean, and he blew up because he was from Houston, right? And so he blew up, right? But that song was the kind of the thing that really took him over the top, right? Because a lot of people identify with that song, right? So, but that's like kind of the story of anybody who, when they're young and they're trying to, on the way up, you know, nobody wants to give them a shot and then this and that, whatever. But then as soon as something hot, you know, and they're like, oh, you heard that? And now everybody's, you know, now everybody wants to be your friend. And so this is where you get that kind of attitude from a lot of these artists, wherever, you know, music, film, fashion, wherever, you know, it's like, well, y'all didn't, you hated me before, treated me like I was nobody, you know, when I was trying to come up, and now you like me, you know, now you saw me over here and I got a video, or I got famous, or I sold some records or whatever. Now you want to be all nice to me. I was just here last week doing a show and I got booed, you know, like, so what's your ultimate dream project? Something so big that it scares you. Something so big that you're like, man, that's scary.
I want to do a show in DC. It's in DC.
DC.
Yep. Why
that
DC?
That scares me.
Why DC?
Yeah.
When people think about America or what key stuff is America, they think about DC. And that comes to mind. And once you start to regulate, okay, American, so freedom, unity, all of that. Like I said this a few probably minutes ago. I want to use that area to, like I said, bring together the community within the fashion, and because we're at a divide, and if we can show and bring together. We can bring together the community and show, like, yes, like we stand together within this, but yes, we can, even though we compete on an everyday basis, we can come together with this, and that can pave the way for future designers coming up. And what makes it a best spot too, you got all these monumental figures there, like the national museums, landmarks.
So you're trying to wrap up a sense of unity, but also some kind of form of patriotism and pride in the community, kind of all wrapped up into one type of event. That's a big. I wish you luck, brother. I wish you luck, because that is a big. That's a pretty big goal, man. But hey, you got to have something big. What is the most underrated clothing item everyone should own? I know what mine is.
Underrated?
Yeah, underrated clothing item. Now, I'm going to wait for you to say yours, and I'll tell you what mine is. And I already know there's going to be a small section of people out there that are like, yes, he said it. But what do you think it is? What's your version of underrated piece of clothing everybody should have?
It's a jacket. Me is a jacket.
A jacket, okay.
Reason why is, like, you need a jacket everywhere. You need a jacket. Yeah. You don't know when it's gonna rain.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't know when it's gonna rain. When it's gonna
pockets on it.
Fat.
You know, I mean, look, I had one of my ex-girlfriends. she had this dress with pockets, right? And she was like, I love this dress. And I was like, well, it looks good on you. She goes, but she goes, look, it's got pockets. And I was like, so it does. And she's like, you don't understand. Most dresses don't have pockets. She says, it's a dress with pockets. And I was like, babe, I get it. You know, I was like, I like pockets too. But for me, it's socks. You need, and not just any socks, you need funky socks that you can wear to functions when you go. Like, I wear funky socks going to court. I wear my funny socks at funerals. If I'm going to a business meeting or something like that, I got my funny socks on, right? So get you some, you know what? Get cats with birthday candles or something like that. Something, because you need, especially like, and I like it if you have on, I like dark gray suits, right? Monotone suits, right? And so everything's dark, everything's one shade, and then I'll sit back and I'll do like this, and then you can see my socks.
Fact.
Right? And they're all
that'll
full,
highlight the room.
And what I like to do, if I can, I'll do the socks and my my pocket square the same color, right? Man, if you had to give one styling tip that could instantly upgrade somebody's look, what would it be?
One styling tip? Okay, I'll say this, right? Colors. Either look up on Google or go on Pinterest, because Pinterest will really give you a whole lot of avenues of styling and stuff like that, to what color codes go with what. And that being said, you can have a field day and
Lord, bro, you bring up Pinterest, man. You could be on Pinterest for like a week.
Facts.
You know, I mean, I don't get on there because again, I'll go down rabbit holes. I'll be on Pinterest for 7 hours if I do it. So I just stay away from it, because I'll go down the rabbit hole with YouTube videos, man, and I'm like, how did I end up here? You know, I'm like, I'll start with camping gear, and then somehow I'm ended up in like Korean barbecue noodles. You know, and I'm like 2 hours later, I was like, I started with camping gear. How did I get off track of that and have like 12 videos of Korean barbecue noodles, you know? It's like, apparently I want some Korean barbecue noodles.
And that, people like within the fashion industry, they look at those futuristic places to gain more ideas. So like Y2K, that's a more, it's a futuristic vibe.
Yeah.
You know, but like they had to go, I feel like, to myself, they had to go to a futuristic place that's established to gain that.
Yeah, you gotta go get some inspiration. Have you ever heard of the Harajuku district in Tokyo? That's like the big fashion district in Tokyo. If you're a fashion person, man, you have to Harajuku, right?
Nah, I ain't gonna say no.
Look it up, dude, on Instagram or whatever. Look it up on YouTube.
How you spell it?
Harajuku, if I'm not mistaken. Or it could be Harry, like Hari. Harajuku. But because it's bonkers. Like it's like Times Square times 1,000 plus mushrooms and aliens. I mean, it's crazy the kind of setup they got out there.
Harajuku.
Yeah, just look up Harajuku district, man. Look it up on Instagram. It's gonna blow your mind.
Wait. No.
So, is there anything that we didn't talk about that you want to talk about?
Yes. Like, I can say what helped me in the past years was I had to lose myself to gain a clear picture.
Yep, I understand
and that right, it was rough. I'm gonna be honest, it was rough. And that being said, I had the closest people to me that was dishing in ideas and trying to get me on that path to greatness and stuff. And with that being said, that's where a lot of designers, people from my past, people currently, and stuff like that, been influencing me to, like, man, Ben, like, you stood out, or man, Ben, like, keep going and stuff. And before I was even when I started my first piece last year. Well, not even last year. I had the pictures were like cartoon. I went to New York. I was sitting in the lobby, and there was a dude. He was an artist, but he was running late, his driver, and me and him, we looked at each other funny, and from there it sparked a conversation. Him telling me his story, and then influencing me at my lowest time. I appreciate that.
That's awesome, man.
And then with that being said, it was another that we've been so in fashion, right? Because everybody has their own taste, and that's what makes the fashion world so unique, because no matter how you dress, it's still fashion.
Yeah.
Still fashion.
Yeah, whether it's terrible or it's high fashion, or because dude, I used to be in a punk rock band, so it was like I was dressing like a punk rocker. I used to have a mohawk that was like a foot tall, so that's a fashion.
Facts. And with that being said, like what brands inspired you?
Me?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say brands per se. It would have been more like just the look of something. But I've always been practical, man. So I've always been much more of a casual dress person, even though I love looking fly. I just don't have any fly clothes right now. The people that influenced me were probably those idols that I saw in the movies. It would have been like Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris and Schwarzenegger and all these guys, right? Mm-hmm. And then musically it would have been, Run DMC, right? When Run DMC came out, they dressed in all black. They had black pants, black t-shirts, black leather jackets, black hats, and then Adidas, right? I loved Adidas, right? That definitely, I like Adidas to this day. And if you ask me why, it's because of Run DMC, right? I got a black hat that I wear sometimes. Why is that? Because Run DMC. So what's next for you, man? What's the next big thing? So it's February 2025. Have you dropped anything just yet?
No.
Okay, so you got to be dropping something. What's coming down the pipe, man? You got to give the people something. The people want something, man. You got to give them something.
So I can say this, right? And I have posted this. So y'all can look forward to Seasons Countries this summer. And y'all, Season by her as well. And later on within the year, diving down into some I would say some custom things. And that being said, that's the aspects that that's the stuff that I want to give to y'all, and so y'all can feel special and feel like, not even feel like to people, well, not even to the people, but to people that like dressing or just want to have and be the only ones wearing things, because I know a lot of people like that. They want to be the only person that have this and that.
That limited run, right? Mm-hmm. All right. Well, you mentioned that everybody needs a jacket, man. So I by the end of this year, here's my challenge, man. You got to have a jacket by the end of the year.
Okay.
That's a challenge. Jacket. We good?
Good.
That's a challenge. All right. Y'all heard it. He's got to have a jacket by the end of the year. So, and it could be a heavy, thick jacket for winter. It could be something light and flowy for the more warmer months, man. I find in Wilmington though, a thin, light jacket can get you through about most everything, But now, I put the seed in his head, y'all. So he's got to create something now. Now it's a challenge. Now people are going to be texting you and DMing you going, hey, man, when's that jacket coming out? Harass him. Don't let him off the hook.
Fact. And hold me accountable, too.
Yeah.
Hold me accountable.
So every month, I want 10 to 100 people to DM him and be like, it's like, yo, Ben, where
that jacket?
We want to see the prototypes, man. We want to see it.
For sure.
All right, man. What would be your advice to somebody who wants to do this and come up and be a designer and
One, if you don't have all the materials, craft in your mind your favorite your favorite anything, because you got to have favorite categories for anything. So with that being said, either favorite brand, favorite jacket brand, or something like that. Once you gravitate there, learn about that brand, learn about them, and then I can say go on Virgil's free game, freegame.com. That'll give you the blueprints of how to come out with the brand, do the stuff, do legal stuff, legal paperwork, all of that, to the point where it's your brand. And from there, researching more about it, and then trying to find the right manufacturer after that. And once you complete those steps, once you complete those steps, you'll be straight.
Okay, but
and never give up when you at your lowest, because that's only a test. It's only a test.
That's good stuff, man. Words of wisdom from a young man, right? Mm-hmm. But a young man who's done something, right? Again, that's all we got for today. Remember,
thank you.
Check out Young Ben here, Casanova on Instagram, caz.a.nova, and then Season, SZN.
Yes, sir.
Right, and we've set the wheels in motion. Now he's got to deliver for us before the end of the year.
Yes, sir.
Well,
got to.
I really appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
I wish you the best of luck, man. I'll be out there, and if I'm gonna be looking for you at the. I'll be checking it out, making sure. It's like, is he at this festival? Did he go here? Did he go here? I'm gonna check in with him. Be like, hey man, what you got going on? You got to be doing something.
Yes, sir.
So anyway, good luck to Ben here. I'm Justin Gates, aka Brother Juice. This has been the Business Builder Podcast, and we will get you next time. Peace.
Peace.